2025. Director Zach Kreger. 2 and 17. Just a simple number on the clock. And in that very second, the world changes. Children vanish. Innocence is swallowed whole. Why 217? Why always this exact moment? Is it merely a cinematic coincidence or a symbol of something far greater? In Weapons, the clock strikes 217 again and again. It isn't a random choice. It is the heartbeat of the story, a number that seems meaningless on the surface, but beneath it lies a code, a way to understand the system devouring the young. Some interpretations point us to the Bible. In Matthew 2:17, we hear of children's cries in Ramah, weeping for the lost, a lament for innocence destroyed. In Revelation 2:17, there is the promise of a white stone with a new name written upon it, a hidden identity, a destiny revealed only to the one who receives it. By choosing this number, the film urges us to think about the theft of childhood and the stripping away of identity. 217 is not just a time, it is the threshold where childhood ends and weaponization begins. Weapons is not merely a linear story, it is a map of symbols. Every character embodies something larger. The children, innocence at risk. They are not only victims of a supernatural force, but of society itself.
Now, when I tell you that you are not to speak about me or your parents to anyone, you understand what can happen if you break your promise.
Their fate reminds us that childhood is often the first casualty of power. Gladys, the demonic figure, a manifestation of forces that feed on memory, emotion, and the body. She may represent addiction, collective despair, or social structures, systems that consume individuality. The parents, exhausted, powerless, sometimes blind, they appear as protectors, yet often perpetuate the cycle. A metaphor for how families, knowingly or unknowingly, pass down the chains of conformity. Teachers and education, present explicitly or implicitly, they symbolize the institution that can nurture or that can function as a factory, a place where creativity dies, replaced by obedience and usefulness. Why is the film called Weapons? Because at its core, it reveals a chilling truth. Humans can be turned into weapons when a child is raised not to be themselves but to serve the system. When their curiosity is killed, when their worth is measured only by usefulness, they stop being a free, living being. They become a tool. School, society, even family, all can participate in this cycle. Childhood is stolen, and in its place, a weapon is forged. A soldier for armies, a worker for economies, a pawn for structures of power. The film speaks in the language of horror, but its message is deeply social. The monster is not only outside, the monster is within us, in our systems, in the bells of classrooms and the timetables of daily life. Despite its darkness, Weapons does not drown us in despair. At its heart lies a fragile but vital truth. Persistence is possible when the children resist the demonic force. It is not just a fantasy battle. It is a metaphor for reclaiming childhood, for choosing laughter, play, and identity. Standing against 217 means breaking the cycle of programmed loss. The film whispers, can we stop the clock? Can we preserve innocence before the system devours it? Weapons may present itself as a horror film, but beneath its shadows, it is a mirror that shows us how, as parents, teachers, or citizens, we may be complicit in turning children into weapons. 217 is a warning. It reminds us that the loss of childhood is not random. It is systematic, scheduled, deliberate, and perhaps, as the final moments suggest, salvation lies in breaking that cycle, in rediscovering the essence of childhood before the monster can steal it away. A number, a time, a code, but behind it a truth far greater. Childhood, if unprotected, can vanish in an instant, and that instant may be 217.